Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Inman with your 10 Minutes of Science. So today we're going to be talking about sound. And when you do the scientific method, you always want to start with a question. It's some kind of a problem you have. Some people say it's a problem, but it's a question. And I had a question this week, so I wanted to share it with you. My dogs could hear a storm approaching before I did. And I knew it was coming because of the news, but I couldn't hear it. The dogs, I have Chihuahuas, and they could actually hear it before I could. So they could hear the thunder. So I was like, how do dogs do that? You know, I know other animals have that ability too. How can they? They can hear better than me. Is there a reason? I thought, well, maybe. I wonder if it has anything to do with the size and shape of their ears. So I needed to do a little bit of background information on that. So I could use a book. I didn't have a book here about ears or about animals. But I could look on the internet, which is what I did. Another thing I could have done, I could have asked an expert. Do you remember that? We talked about that before. But when I did my internet Google, I did learn a few things that would help me. That vibrations cause noise, the sound, the loudness, and the quietness. They can cause you to hear something, but also sound can cause vibrations. Isn't that cool? Sound causes vibrations, vibrations cause sound. And one place that you can tell that happens is to put your hand right here and then hum. If there's a sound, because the air is being pushed through your vocal cords, making them vibrate. So the vibration is causing the sound. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I also found out that those sound waves that come out, they're called compression waves. And when they come here, your outer ear collects those sounds, those vibrations. They're vibrations to start with, right? And they go into your inner ear, which causes the sound. So if I have a bigger ear, shouldn't I catch more vibrations? And shouldn't the sound be bigger? Well, that is my hypothesis. Everyone say hypothesis. Remember, that's that really hard one to say sometimes. Hypothesis. That's my guess. I didn't find that on the internet. I didn't find that, dog ears are bigger and they should be able to hear a bit better just because, because of that. But I want to know. Remember, that's why I'm doing this experiment. So what could I do to make my ears bigger? That's my experiment. So I thought, what do I have at my house? Well, I have paper. And it can be any kind of paper. If you want to do this along with me, you can always watch the whole video and then go back and try it, or you can stop it and just get some paper because that's all you need. So if you want to cut it, you can tear it, but you could cut it if you wanted to make them a little fancier. But really, a piece of paper is all you need. I went and cut mine, and I cut it in the shape of my dog's ear. Because I have a little Chihuahua, and she's got her ears that stand straight up. As a matter of fact, they're white, just like this. But I made it pretty big because for me, I need some pretty bigger ears because I want to check this out. So what you'll need to do is once you take your paper, you just need to maybe at the bottom crumple it a little bit. And then I took mine and sort of made it like in the shape of the ear because, they sort of are concave. They cave in like this, they concave. And then you can hold it on the back of your ear like this and see if that'll help gather more vibrations so it will change the sound. That's what we're going to try to do. So you want to do that to both. And then you think, well, how can I tell if the sound is different. Well, one thing you can do is you can have someone else tap a pencil for you, and then listen, and then put your ears on and listen. Or you have the TV on, listen, then put your ears on and listen. Or the radio, or anything. Have your brother or sister talk to you. Have your parents talk to you. And if you are by yourself, you can always try one ear, and that way you can still tap, because we're just holding it on our ear like this. So while you're doing this, and you can do it for several sounds, you're observing. Now when you observe, you don't have to just adjust your eyes. You can do it with your eyes, but this is your ears. We're listening, right? So on this one, when you observe, you're actually listening. Sometimes you can feel. That's why you can observe. Using any of your senses, you can observe. So we're observing, we're actually listening this time. And at the end, you'll have a conclusion. Could you hear better with the larger ears? I'll let you figure that out for yourself. What do you think? I was giving you a little bit of pause time, because then I'll tell you what I think. But I don't want to tell you right away, because you might want to turn it off so you can do your own experiment. But for me, I could hear better. And you know, I even tried it with that would be doing a different experiment, wouldn't it? You can experiment in different ways, but for one experiment, you can change one thing. And I changed the paper big ears. If you wanted to experiment, do another experiment, you could do it with your hands and try that. Could you hear better like that? How else could you change the experiment? Something for you to think about. That would be a fun way to change the experiment around. It's just change one thing at a time. Paper or ears, that's one experiment. Then you could do hands over your ears. That's a second experiment. Put bowls behind your ears. That would be a third experiment. But you do everything else the same. So if you had tapping of the pencil, TV, you can still do it in different ways. So that's your 10 minutes of science. I hope you all enjoyed. See you later.